Konnichiwa and hello, minasan. How are you, everyone? It is time to wrap up the March basho and look ahead to the May basho, which of course is happening in the middle of May and back in Tokyo. And it's actually April 1st, April Fool's Day, not a big day here in Japan. They're aware of it, but we don't really play tricks on each other here. So no tricks in this video, just treats, really, for you for watching this video. And so it's April 1st, so we're going to look back at the March tournament and what's happening with the channel. We'll talk about the prize winners. I have the list here, and various other odds and ends. Of course, Fred's great chart, and Tachiai put out an interesting article. So I'm on Zoom recording this. I'm doing my rundown time here. Ooh, sorry, I hit the microphone. And I'm going to hope to keep it under 40 minutes. So let's see if that can happen. We got to talk about who's going to become this and why we need this in the course of this video as well. All right, so let's jump in. So share my screen here, which is the wonderful thing about Zoom. Share. All right, so the channel's doing okay. As you can see here, we just passed 6,000 subscribers, which is encouraging. Unfortunately, when you look at the videos, this one being a recap of the final day got 3.4K, but a lot of the videos are getting 1,000. Some of them aren't even breaking 1,000. It depends, obviously, who's maybe involved. 700, 755, 886, 843, 625. And I realize some of that has to do with my timing and when I put the videos up. But I was hoping that, these 6,000 of you that subscribed are like, before I had 70, I had just passed 70,000 subscribers on the old channel before I got taken down. And that number was never a real number because that's people that subscribed 5, 8, 10 years ago and just never unsubscribed and, that kind of thing. You know how that happens on YouTube. But it was a nice number. It kind of spoke to the longevity of the channel and the interest. And the number always went up. So I knew new people were always coming. And I thought, well, this is a core group of people that know about my channel, want to subscribe, want to watch. So maybe I'll actually get 4, 5, 6,000 views because everybody that just subscribed is watching, right? And it just didn't turn out that way. So that was a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. And of course, the number of people going by the tip jar has just dropped off the chart. A few of you did, and I thank you so much, and I will get caught up on my thank yous. So yeah, the I don't know, the kind of like motivation of money or views, or like you think you're spreading out the word, has kind of dropped off a little bit, making my sort of drive to work hard on the channel has gone down a little bit perhaps, but that's okay. The current format, which is kind of what I settled on in this tournament, which seems to have worked, is the weekends I'll have good coverage because I can watch Abema live on my couch over here, right there, and tape anything I want, right? And they don't seem to mind. I got one minor strike. It wasn't even a copyright strike, just about music. There was some music playing that they play as one of their theme songs, and the people that own the music struck the channel, but nobody else struck. So that's encouraging. So it's kind of what I was doing before, but just using a different source. But I can't DVR it and come home at 6 p.m. and then go through the tape of the 2 hours and pick out the videos like I used to do. A lot of times I would still be reacting live because I purposefully didn't know who won or lost, but I wasn't watching when the match happened. And I'm sure some of you are aware of that. Some of you maybe never even noticed. And so I can get what I can get Monday through Friday. And that's kind of, I think, what we'll have to settle into. Now, May is Golden Week, is a big holiday in Japan at the very beginning of May. We get a whole week off. The basho doesn't start until the 14th. And by then, I'll be back at work and everything. And it's the 14th through the 28th of May. I'm looking up at my calendar when I do that. I have a wall calendar for the whole year. And I plan on being home the 5 weekend days, right? The first Sunday, the middle weekend, and then the final weekend. That's 5 of the 15 days. So you'll get really good coverage those 5 days. It's not like this tournament where I was gone the final weekend. And then the other 10 days, the Monday through Friday, and then the Monday through Friday, I'll do the best I can. So let's see how that goes in May. It'll be more of a normal sort of way of assessing how the channel is going. But I hope to run a contest, back to the old contest, pick 5 guys, make a team, see who gets the most wins, that kind of thing. And Mike's come with me, and he's doing the behind the scenes stuff for me. Fred's still sending me his charts and all that good stuff. I do have a new email, which came with the new channel. So it's jasonsumo2023@gmail.com. And I'll put that down in the description. So use that now instead of Japan Juku. jasonsumo2023@gmail.com. If you need to send me anything or need to notify me about being in a contest, or you're a winner, or anything really. It's just, the only thing I use it for is sumo. So as far as my stuff goes, let me just show you this. So here is my sumo shop, and I got a lot of t-shirts and stuff, and all different designs. And of course, here is the Ozeki shirt, and there's one that has about the rank of Ozeki, and another one that has like I watch all the Ozeki matches on Jason's All Sumo channel, which is still viable. That's the one I'm wearing, but I've got long sleeves. So again, the prices have gone up a little bit in here because the price of materials and stuff. The shop people that make the shirts and mail them to you put their prices up, so I had to put mine up a little bit. But there's still lots here to see. Old masks, tote bags, iPhone cases, and if you hit load more, there's drink things, there's shirts designed for women. I tried to order a pillow recently, and it said out of stock. So maybe they're not making pillows anymore. Here's Peace Jason, Zenzen Mokanonai, which continues to be a very popular design. So for the whole month of April, and then going into the beginning of the basho until I put the welcome video up on May the 7th, 10% off. Use the code SPRING 2023, SPRING 2023, and you get 10% off of anything you want to buy out of the shop. Buy yourself a t-shirt for the coming warmer months. There's Zenzen Mokanonai and a bunch of different designs down here. And actually, Fred of Fred's wonderful, let me go up here. Where's Fred? Here's Fred. Fred's wonderful charts has sent me some ideas for a new shirt. So I hope by May, I have kind of 5 weeks to get off my butt. We might have a new shirt. And here's obviously his charts and his website and his scatter chart, etc., etc. So go help. And that link is, of course, always down in the description. So, how do I... Oops, stop share. Okay, let me see. Oh, I know what happens. I put the PDF on my desktop instead of clicking on it. So let me open that. Okay, and then let me share. All right, so let's talk about the basho that just happened. Get into some sumo here. All right. So Terunofuji, of course, out with an injury. We hope he's back in May. He was obviously out in January as well, and November. So we've missed him. We want him back. Takikeisho, what can you say? Going from, possible Yokozuna promotion to being Kadoban now in May. Just a terrible turn of events for him. You know, 2-12-3s and a Yusho win in January. He was primed, he was set to become the next Yokozuna. Some of you were very vocally against that, though, and are happy that it didn't work out. Some of you were like, yeah, we need somebody new. And as I've said many times, the Japanese fans want a Japanese Yokozuna. So Kiribayama's success and him becoming the next Ozeki, that's great. And people want strong guys at the top, but he's also Mongolian. And so there is tempered excitement or enthusiasm about Kiribayama from a lot of the Japanese fans. Wakataka Kage, of course, very unfortunate. He had 7, had to pull out right at the end, and didn't get his Kachikoshi right before he pulled out. So he will be demoted. But he'll only be demoted probably to Komusubi, because he basically finished with a 7 and 8. But then if he has to sit out May, which most people say he will, he'll go way down, and then it'll just be depending on when he can come back. So he will probably get demoted out of Sanyaku, and any hopes to become an Ozeki and all that will have to all start over again at some point later on down the line. Hoshoru strong, 10 and 5, following up on a fairly, middling 8 and 7 here. But he got a nice 11 and 4 back here. But, a 10 and 5 could be the start of something. If he gets another 10 or 11 wins in May, then we'll have to, start using the O word, the Ozeki word. But for right now, the 8 and 7 pretty much almost doesn't count. And you just got to start over from the 10 and 5. Kiribayama, on the other hand, and we'll talk about this more in a moment, of course, has 11 here and 12 here, and that's 23. So a lot of people are saying all he needs is 10 solid good wins in May, and he'll be an Ozeki. And if he has 11 or more, then it's pretty much cert. And so some of you that are newer to Sumo might be like, well, what if he won the Yusho? Would he become a Yokozuna? No, you can't leapfrog Ozeki to become Yokozuna. So it would be great for him if he won the May tournament. But it wouldn't put him up to Yokozuna. He has to be an Ozeki first. To become a Yokozuna, you have to win 2 tournaments back to back at the rank of Ozeki. And there have, of course, been exceptions to that. Sometimes you can be runner-up and then win, or things like that. But that's the basic, and you have to be an Ozeki to become a Yokozuna. There's sometimes people are like, well, Kiribayama got 8 and 7 here, at Komusubi, but that still doesn't add up. And other people are like, yeah, but doesn't this person, Daisho, got 10 wins here and 12 wins here? That's 22, even though this was M1. Okay. I don't know that will help him that much. These M1s shouldn't count. They have sometimes, like Tochinoshin. People bring up Tochinoshin. Tochinoshin, when he got promoted to Ozeki, he got, usually you need 3 basho in a row with double-digit wins, right? And one of those, he was at Maegashira 3. But at that time he was Maegashira 3, he won the Yusho with like a 14 and 1. So it was a very strong performance, and then vaulted him up. And then he had 2 more good performances of double-digit wins to get him to Ozeki when he was in Sanyaku. So Daisho, probably these 10 won't count. These 12 will, and he'll have to. But, if they really want another Ozeki, or it looks like Takikeisho is going to not get his 8, and there's going to be no Ozeki, they might promote Daisho. They might say, okay, well, these 10, it's good. Here's 12. If he has another, 12 and 3 or 13 and 2, certainly if he wins the Yusho, then that might be it. Now he should get promoted to Sekewake, but we obviously already have 2 that are going to be up there, so they have to make room for a third. And Wakamoto Haru should become a Sekewake. So we might have 4 Sekewake. We had 4 Sekewake here. And a lot of that's because we only have 1 Yokozuna and 1 Ozeki, and they may or may not be showing up. We just don't know. But of course, Wakatakage will go down, and we'll talk a little bit more about promotions in a moment. Okay, Tobizaru, a little disappointing, 6-9, but that's okay. He won't go that far down. Tamawashi just really chunking it at 3-12. He'll go way down. Shodai looking to try to go back up to Komusubi. It's crowded, but maybe. Abi would normally get promoted up to Komusubi, perhaps from an M2 with a 9-6, but it's way too crowded, so he'll have to settle for M1. Ryuden, look at that, 2-13. Mitakeumi, 4-11. Both of those guys are going to plummet. Here's a 5-10 from Meisei, a 4, and then withdrawal from Onosho. I mean, a lot of these guys, look at those terrible numbers. Nobody got more than 6 wins in all. Look, and if you include these 2 guys, just terrible numbers. It's like we don't have enough people for the high Maigashira. Midori Fuji would normally jump way up, but he might only go up to like M2 because they need him kind of there. You got to feel bad for Midori Fuji, just such promise at the beginning, and then just 5 straight losses to finish the tournament. Just terrible for him. He did his best. I mean, no shame. I mean, 10-5 is still a great record, but just all the hopes. Endo having a good tournament. Takayasu putting in good numbers after having to pull out here in January. The rest probably did him some good. Ura will go up the Bansuke. Nishiki Fuji. Who's going down? Well, Bushozan and Oho are the certs, and we'll get up to that in a minute. All the guys who made their debut did okay, except Bushozan, who will probably go back down to Juryo. But Hokuseiho, solid 9-6. Kinbozan from Kazakhstan, the Kanto Show winner, the special prize, Fighting Spirit prize, and an 11-4. Fantastic from him. So yeah, some good stuff. It'll be interesting to see how the Bansuke works itself out in May. It's always kind of fun to see where it goes. Let's look at, oops, I don't want that anymore. I want, oops. Okay, cancel. How do I cancel? Me and technology, guys. Okay, I see, because I reduced it. Okay. Wah. All right, share again. Here we go. Let's move this back up here. All right, so we'll just take that one out. Just so you know, the archive is up. It's at this place called archive.org, and all the matches from long ago are up in 2 sections. So I will link to it. And if you want to watch old matches, they are still available on this service. So there you go. I'll put the link up to that. So what else should I say about the channel? Well, again, we did pretty good. I used Nato's Sumo because I was on the road, and that was kind of fun. His channel got struck though and is gone again, so he's refiguring out what to do. I think I don't know that he watches this video, but he's got to kind of face the music. NHK is not going to give up on hitting people on YouTube, so I think he's got to figure out a different method. He's got some other platforms. I think he uses Rumble and something else. So go to his Twitter, and he'll probably tweet out where he's at. And yeah, it's a shame because I was using his footage a lot especially for Juryo, because I was working and stuff, and it's so convenient just to be able to click around and see who you want to see. So again, a big loss to have him go. Okay, so there is our winner. Congrats to him. Of course, Kiribayama, all props to Kiribayama, man. He had to beat Daisho in regulation. at the end of the tournament on day 15, and then beat him again in a playoff. And that's hard to do no matter who you are, beat somebody twice in a row. And he managed to do that, first show ever. And he is getting coaching from the former Yokozuna Kiseno Sato, which I've heard has really helped him improve. And yeah, all guns blazing for him to be promoted to Ozeki and probably be an Ozeki in the July tournament in Nagoya. Just one more tournament in May. Okay, so there are the dates, as I mentioned, 5/14 to 5/28, and tickets go on sale in about a week on April 8th, actually exactly a week from today. I won't be going to this tournament at all. I wish I could go to more Tokyo tournaments, but it's far and et cetera, et cetera. And the timing is never great. May is a pretty busy month for me as a teacher, but of course I do want to watch. Okay, so let's go over to Tachiai. Before we get to the winners and losers article here, which I think is a good one, and we're going to talk about it, here are the hard results for the Natsu Basho, the summer tournament, as we call it. The May tournament is called the Natsu Basho. And he just goes through kind of like who will move where. He's thinking we should have 4 Sekewake. Shodai should be able to get Komusubi. And then who's going to fill in the upper Maegashira? Are they going to place Asanoyama and Ichinojo, who are going to get promoted up from Juryo, higher than any promotion from Juryo ever in history? It'll be interesting. It says here, overall, only 13 Rikishi deserve to be ranked in the top half of the Maegashira and 20 in the bottom half, but that obviously doesn't work because you got to distribute them somehow. Okay, and here's his exchanges. Of course, Asanoyama and Ichinojo are going to come up, and they will take over from. Now he's saying Maegashira 11, Azumaru with a 4 and 11, and M14 Bushozan. So he's not including Oho in that, unless he says he doesn't see Oho or Kageyaki at M15 being sent down. So basically, when you get a 7 and 8, you're usually only demoted about 1 rank. So they're thinking Oho's only going to go down to M16, or if there's an M17. So yeah, that could be true. And he'll be safe. But J3 Shono Naomi with a 9 and 6. He could get promoted and they could take Oho down. I think Kageyaki M12, even though he got a 5 and 10, should be safe. But it's like, an M12, which is a lower rank with only 5 wins, versus an M11 with 4 wins, who's 1 rank higher but has 1 less win. So it'll be interesting. I guess it depends how much they want to put some new blood into the Maegashira. And then here's the Juryo Makushita exchanges. So again, they always have good coverage on this. So go over to Tachiai, show them some love, tell them Jason sent you, and see how much they're right. But definitely Asanoyama and Ichinojo back in the top division should pump a lot of fun into the first half of how the days split up, right? So there's 10 matches in the first half from say 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and the second half is the next 10 matches from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Ichinojo and Asanoyama will both be in double-digit Maegashira, even if they put them up to like Maegashira 11 or 10, way up. They'll still be kind of in that first half, and they'll mostly fight first half wrestlers, with the exception of as the Basho moves forward, like Midori Fuji, for instance. If they win and they keep winning and they're undefeated, then they'll start fighting higher ranked guys. But they won't immediately be putting Asanoyama up against Wakamoto Haru and Daisho and and Takekeisho if he comes back. It's going to take probably a tournament. But of course, if he's 12 and 0, on, day 13, they're going to start throwing him up against some higher ranked opponents, as they should. But they'll be in the first half of action at the beginning. And Ichinojo, of course, now coming in with that Juryo championship under his belt. Okay, so what did they talk about here? They talked about looking back at the Haru Basho, the Osaka tournament. Who were the winners and losers? So he said one loser was Sumo. And I kind of agree. I felt like some of it was a little, I just wasn't that interested in watching some days, or I'd watch a few matches and I'd be like, yeah, I don't really care who wins that match, or yeah. And I know some of you are just diehard sumo fans and you want to see every match and you live and die by it all. But for me, I want some excitement in who's going to win the tournament. And I really did find this tournament that I found way more excitement watching Juryo. Probably for the first time in the 15 years I've been watching sumo. It was just way more exciting for me. And some of the stories were more compelling, and some of that's because we lack that kind of strength at the top. And having final matches of the day where it's like a 5 and 6 Sekewake up against like a 2 and 7, Maegashira 5 or whatever it was some days. That's just not good sumo. So yeah, I see what he can say here. Taki Keisho, of course, is a loser, not in the sense that he's a loser, but I mean, the poor guy, he was on a rope run, which means, trying to get that Yokozuna promotion to be in Kadoban now in May. Daisho, he didn't choke, but I mean, he lost twice to the same opponent, almost by the same technique on the final day. All he had to do was win one of those two matches, and he would have won the Yusho, and he couldn't do it. So, but still, a very good tournament for him. Takayasu, again, some of what he says here is really interesting about Takayasu, so I suggest you read it. But when he starts like that, when he starts 6-0, all of us are like, "Come on, Takayasu, like you can do it, buddy. You can finally win a Yusho." And then the Takayasu that we always see, kind of comes out. And then he had that amazing match against Hoshoru on day 15, and everybody's like, "Yeah," and it's just too little, too late, right? So here's another guy who got 10 wins, but he was like, yeah, it's interesting some of what he says about Hoshoru. I'd be interested to see what you guys think, if you agree with him. He says he needs a more professional approach to his sumo, and he shouldn't be losing some of the early matches he loses at the beginning of the tournaments. So interesting. See what you think about that. Hokuto Fuji, Wakatake Kage, obviously just the bad luck of not getting his 8th win before he had to pull out because of the injury. And it says if indeed he's able to return, he might not be able to even come back in May. So people are saying no, it's going to take longer for him to recover from what he got. I forget what the specifics of his injury was. It meniscus? Was it a muscle? Anyway, so yeah, my thoughts off to him. I hope he recovers. Takayumi, yeah, just a 4-11, former Ozeki. Just he looked terrible. So something's going on there. Ryuden, again, 2-13. I mean, he showed up for work every day, but man, that's just so weird. How does that happen? Winners, sumo. Juryo merged as a thrilling division. The final day drama was great. A new Yusho winner kind of sparks interest. But so what do you think? Did sumo overall win or lose? He said, I think up at the top, it's just one of those basho that no one's really going to talk about much. A year from now, 2 years from now, people will not look back on this Yusho as a big deal, other than if you're a huge Kiribayama fan. Kiribayama, of course, big winner. Yeah, Ura, Midori, Fuji, and Enho all had really fun basho. So the little guys, Juryo was great. Ichinojo, just so aggressive and great. Yeah, I mean, Ura was in his native Osaka, which helped a lot. He got a lot of crowd support. The big thing about Nakamura, this guy that's supposed to just be a monster from the amateur ranks, deciding to join Kiseno Sato's stable, perhaps not go with Hakuho, which might have been the natural choice. So now we're going to get to see Nakamura against Hokuseiho and against Ochiai and things like that. Hakuho definitely doing well. His guys, I mean, Ochiai just doing great stuff. Midori Fuji doing well in Isagihama. Wakamoto Haru now kind of outshining his brother a little bit. And Kimbozan making his debut and doing really well, getting the special prize. So really fun article there. Go over to tachiai.org and have a read. I think it was written mostly by Josh, so shout out to Josh, who I think I told you guys sent me my newest little Okonomi. You see him there? he got him at like a gachapon, one of those machines, and he sent it. And so I have this other one that I bought, like it's supposed to be a keychain, but they come with a base. So now I've got these two Okonomis right there on my desk. So thank you to Josh for that. Okay, so how we doing? Okay, we got about 9 minutes. Let's talk contest. So share screen here. Okay, so I was a little happy actually that Midori Fuji didn't win because nobody had picked Midori Fuji. About 30 or 40 of you picked Kiribayama to win. And of those people, 12 of you picked Kiribayama to win with a 12-3 record. So I emailed all of those people. That's kind of why I delayed making this video one day. And I wanted them to reply, and 11 of them replied. And I said, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Because I can't send a prize to all 12 of you. And instead of just picking your number out of a hat, theoretically, by just assigning you a random number, let's do rock, paper, scissors. So I wrote down all their names and whether they chose rock, paper, or scissors. And so if they're watching, they'll know instantly, but I'll email them, of course. And the prizes, guys, for the prize winners: Botan, Johan, Sasha, Johnny Bag, Mason, William Lee, Tonto, Hugo T, Keith, Michael, and Slow Turtle. Just kind of stuff that I've sent out before. Towels, I did buy some kind of bigger towels and magnets and fun stuff. And just send me who your favorite wrestler is. I did buy some smaller stuff. I believe that's Ura. No, it can't be Ura. I would have bought pink. Oh, maybe it is Ura because he's wearing pink. And so yeah, I just have a bunch of fun stuff to give away. So send me your favorite wrestler in email reply, and maybe kind of what you would want. Do you want a little knickknack, or do you want like a towel? Do you want maybe a program, or a clear file, or some kind of stationery? Just let me know. Okay, dum dum dum. So I set it up. Obviously, all I have to do is hit rerun. So it gave me scissors when I first set it up. So that's not the winner. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Da, 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 da. Boom. Paper. Okay. So paper. A bunch of you picked paper. So what I'll probably do is say, okay, a tie is fine. You'll get a prize. And all the people that had rock lost. Sorry, rock. And only one person picked scissors. And that's Johnny Bag. So Johnny, you are the ultimate prize winner. I will call you the number one prize winner, so you get your kind of pick. And maybe because scissors is hard to spell, I don't know. Most people win rock or paper. So let's see. I'll just say it really quick. Botan, Johan, Johnny Bag, William Lee, Hugo T, Keith, and Slow Turtle. You guys are all winners of the March tournament. So congratulations. Thank you for playing, everyone. Only about 300 people entered. So when I do the new contest in May, hopefully more of you will come along, more of you will be interested. And I did buy like a really nice program. This is just sort of the normal program, which, you know, I can send to people. Uh, but I bought this kind of oversized, you know, like this is like an A4 piece of paper. So you can see how much it's kind of bigger. And it's the official, you know, March program, obviously Take show, but just really nice profiles of all the guys, URLs and actual English in there. And just lots of pictures, all the Jurio wrestlers too. So just a lot of fun. And then all the kind of goods you can buy and all kinds of stuff. So somebody will get this, or if Johnny Bag, if you want this, I'll send this to you. But I'll maybe save this for the May tournament if Johnny doesn't want it. And then everybody else, like I said, I've got kinds of lots of little gifts here and there. So yeah, and then maybe in May I'll also give away the box of Sumo cards as a prize, and I've got some signed cards. But you know, kind of dole it out, because if I'm not going to get as much tip jar money, you know, it costs me obviously money to buy these things, and it costs me, I want to say, about $10 to mail each package, and that's if I do like surface or airmail and not even anything special. So, you know, it does add up. If I'm going to send 7 prizes, kind of $70. So, yeah. Okay. So what movies are you excited about seeing? I've got, here's some Japanese posters that I just got when I went and saw a David Bowie documentary called Moon Age Daydream the other night and grabbed these. Here's Creed. That doesn't open till May here. I've heard good things. I really like the Creed franchise. Huge Marvel fan, as you guys know. So here's the poster for Guardians. That also comes out in Golden Week, May 3rd. So that's a big one coming up. What else we got coming up? The Flash movie with all the exciting Michael Keaton stuff going on. So when does that come out here? 6/16. I don't have the poster, but I know Indiana Jones is coming up in June. Of course, a big one here and just about everywhere, Super Mario, which I won't even get to go see because it'll be dubbed here. But they made this really nice. If any of you that want a prize want one of these, let me know. I'm happy to send one along. So I give these to my students and put them up in my classroom as decoration and things like that. So, okay, I think I got it. I think did I get under 40 minutes? Oh, 37 minutes. Woohoo. Okay, so May, uh, you know, I'll be back on May 7th with the welcome, May 14th with day 1. And thank you for watching. What I did offer up, you guys were very encouraging. Most of you, a lot of the comments were like, so glad you're back and everything. And it really means a lot. So, yeah, we'll just kind of keep experimenting, keep going, keep trying to put out content and keep you guys into sumo if you're not in Japan. And I'm looking forward to hopefully some good competition. See if Kitabayama can make Ozeki in May. Ochi, I didn't talk a lot about Ochi, but really big fan of him. Seeing how he does down in Jurio now that Ichinojo and Asanoyama are going to be gone. Can he win the Jurio Yusho in May, etc. So thanks for watching, guys. Anything else? I feel like there's something else, but I can't think of it. I told you about the new email. I told you about the code for the shop, buy stuff. Yeah, that's it. Okay, take care. Links for everything down in the description. See you guys. Peace. Take care.